Hey there guys, I'm going to be going to the Chamber of Arms to show the Warden Welter battle because we got news on Global that we're getting Warden Welter and Gilgamesh either this week or maybe later this month. And I already showed a preview video for Gilgamesh, so let's check out the Warden battle. Now the team I'm going to be using is going to be I'm going to be using Warrior of Light as my tank. Now this is a 7-star version. He's not on Global, but you can use any tank you want really. I'm just choosing him because he's immune to Charm. A Seed card would be fine on Global, or you can just use a Charm immunity buff if you don't want to use a naturally immune tank. But anyway, you want your whole team able to reach 100% resistance to Dark and Holy Element. So I'm using at least 30% on everyone, and I'll be using Warrior of Light's buff to get the other 70%. Fina is going to be our healer. She can do, the usual stuff. And she's got some resistances. Oren's going to be the breaker. He's got the resistances as well. Water resist will help as well for the final phase, just FYI. Reagan's going to be one of my chainers. We're going to be chaining fire damage because the boss absorbs Holy and Dark. So I'm not using that, even though that would be preferred. Sephiroth's going to chain with my Reagan. And he's got a fire weapon as well. And the boss also does Paralyze and Sleep, which you've got to deal with, in addition to the Charm. Now this is going to be a little bit harder for me on the Japanese server, because in Phase 1, the boss will use, quotes, and you've got to react based on what he says. But because I can't read Japanese, I don't know what the boss is going to be saying. So we're going to just wing it. Because if you don't do what the boss says, he counterattacks you. Alright, so Warrior of Light is going to put up his cover for the first turn. And now let's go ahead and chain on the boss. See what kind of damage we can deal. Alright, so we got to 80%. That's actually a threshold, I believe. Let me double check. 80%. Yeah, so he's going to use Snap on Warrior Light, which actually might kill him. Probably will, in fact. Actually, no, he'll cheat death. Well, I should play it safe, shouldn't I? Yeah, we're going to do that on Warrior Light, and we're going to use it on Fina as well. Alright, so I pushed the boss a little bit further than I expected on turn 1. Alright, here comes the threshold. First of all, the counterattack, by the way. He counterattacks a lot of damage, and the Warrior of Light will just block them. Yeah, there's the snap, and Warrior of Light cheated death as I expected. But he came back. No big deal. So that was the 80% threshold. Alright, so he's going to end his turn with a quote. I'm not sure what he said. That's the problem. And he buffs himself as well. You see these buffs? You've got to dispel those buffs. So Fina will dispel the buff. And let's re-raise Warrior of Light again. Warrior of Light will go ahead and put up that break, and so Warrior of Light did 60% breaks, and he did his. It's a barrier, and it's a light and dark resist buff. Yeah, so the boss is broken for 5 turns, and now we're going to also break him with Oren to defense and spirit for the full break. All right, so let's go ahead and push the boss again. See how far we can go. Alright, not quite. Alright, so there's the counterattacks. Yeah. When you're not using Oren's good break, it's a lot more damage. And especially when you're we didn't have cover up because Warrior of Light died. Oh, this could be a problem. Maybe not, we'll see. Alright, let's go ahead and cover with Warrior of Light. And hope for the best here. We didn't dispel the boss, so this is going to be a whole lot of damage. Yeah, too much damage. Okay. But the boss didn't do a quote, so we might be okay here. So let's go ahead and dispel him and bring back Oren. So Warrior of Light will use his buff, and he'll break the boss again. That's a counterattack. So there's the holy damage we're immune to. And his regular melee attacks are very weak, as you can see. Alright, so we're good here. We're good here. So Fina, let's go ahead and heal. And erase Sephiroth. We're going to have to dispel the boss with him. And let's break attack and magic. Yeah, it's kind of messy because I pushed that phase 1 threshold way too quickly. I wasn't ready for it. All right, I think we're gonna be okay now. Let's see here. Best way to do this. Sephiroth can raise actually. That makes that easier. All right, so Fina. See if we can recover this. We'll do that. We'll dispel and heal. Alright, so Warrior of Light is going to break the boss again. And actually, is Armin's good cooldown up? No, it's not. Let's do that. And then we'll do that with Warrior of Light. So Warrior of Light gave us a light resist buff, and he broke the boss again by 60%. Attack and magic. Alright, oh, snap again. Triple snap. Okay. But that's actually okay, because the boss didn't use a quote, because that was his turn. Alright, so we're gonna raise these two. Unfortunately, Auron's gonna die again, because we're gonna push a threshold here, and it's gonna be a really powerful AoE that does holy and dark damage that we should have immuned, but because we've been having all these deaths, it didn't work out right. Alright, here's gonna be the threshold. Oh, counterattacks, of course. We'll get them back up later. Alright. The Warrior of Light will probably cheat death. If he does, we should be okay. If he doesn't, we're in... Oh, Warrior of Light's naturally resistant. That's actually fine. Okay. So now the boss won't buff himself anymore. So we can actually probably come back at this point. So let's go ahead and raise with Fina. Warrior of Light is going to cover. And I think at this point we can recover at this point. Okay. So this is phase 2. A lot of bad stuff happens, etc. And of course, when it comes to global, I'll have a much cleaner kill with a much more detailed guide, because this is pretty hard when I can't read what's going on. This boss is really technical. So let's see. So the next threshold is at 30%. All right. So the boss has 2 more turns of being broken. Auron's cooldown is available now. Okay, so now we're doing good. So we used Auron's cooldown. Our DPS is not currently imbued with darkness because they died. Yeah, the boss imbues you on dark on that threshold. Warrior of Light is going to go ahead and cover. Refresh that. Fina is going to heal. Actually, Fina is going to use an AoE re-raise cooldown, which also heals us. Alright, so let's go ahead and push that, and let's push this. Alright, 30% threshold. This is going to be a charm. Oh, I didn't do dark resist. Yep, we're going to lose a lot of people. I forgot to cast the resist buff. My bad. Well, we cast re-raise, so it's okay. And the boss used a charm single target, but Warrior of Light is immune. That's why I chose Warrior of Light. Okay. So the boss is immune to damage for 1 turn, these 1-turn mitigations, so you can't hurt him right now. So let's go ahead and use Warrior of Light's a good break and his resist buff. So that won't happen again. I think he imbued us as well. Can't. Oh, I wish I could read this. Oh no, he did not imbue us. We're okay. Alright, so Fina is going to go ahead and do a resist buff, but that does water resist as well. Auron is going to... Nope, wrong one. Oren's gonna break the defense and spirit of the boss. I'm not sure why I'm breaking his spirit. It's kind of pointless. And we'll just guard the DPS because we can't hurt the boss anyway. Alright, so there's an AoE. That was probably Flash Ripper. Yeah, one cool thing about this boss, he uses like the best move of all 12 of the previous bosses. So if you remember Flash Ripper from Sadelsued Phase 2, he's using that on us now. And Snap was from like Altafira. His immunity, Morning Refusal, is from Vindamatrix. You know, all these moves he's doing are stolen from the 12 previous bosses. And if you look at his model closely, you can see the 12 weapons, like the Thor's hammer is in the bottom left. The Suzuki katana is behind that, and actually half of them were shown on his first model. The Ragnarok swords in his top left. But anyway, let's get on with it. So, did he imbue us? It's hard to tell. I don't think he imbued us, so we're good. Alright, so Fina needs to heal. Let's go ahead and heal, and I'm going to use Isuna as well to cure that stupid poison. Alright, let's see if we can chain up this. Chain them. Chain them. I'm going to cap it with Warrior of Light as well. So let's do that. And do this. Warrior of Light's in the burst. It's pretty decent. Okay, I mistimed that horribly though. The Warrior of Light's Limit Burst gave him an enormous defense buff. Like, he's now got 2,000 defense, which is pretty good. And how's the breaks on the boss looking? 2 turns of breaks remaining? Okay. Go ahead and do that. Oren's running out of mana big time. I should have given him more mana regen. Oh well. We'll fix it with Fina next turn. Alright, I think we're going to win next round anyway, though. As long as we don't die to, like, Flash Ripper or Nunki's Water is coming from the book skill he uses as well. But we used a resist buff with Fina, so the water attack shouldn't matter. Alright, so apparently he's using all single target this round, so that was fine. The Warrior of Light's the boss. So yeah, we're good. Let's go ahead and finish him off. Oh, he imbued us! Are you kidding me? I've been checking every single turn, and then the last round I don't check if he imbued or not, and he did imbue. Disaster. Alright. Well, we'll be alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and mana regen with Fina so I can do a good break with Oren. Because, see these blinking red ones? That means this break is going to wear off as soon as my turn ends. So we'll use Oren to use his cooldown. Good break. Alright, and I think a Warrior of Light will do a barrier and a resist buff for us. Yeah, we're imbued, but whatever. I'll get rid of the imbue next turn. Now on global, I'll probably be using Emperor for my DPS instead of physical, because for one thing, I love Emperor, but second thing, I don't got to deal with that stupid imbue. Alright, so this is an AoE physical attack. I'm not sure which one it is. That's probably Insanely Mad. That's Alferg's AoE physical that he's using. Yeah, because our defense is all broken. That's Alferg's physical AoE. This will be cooler on global. We're not going to read all the names he's doing. Anyway, let's go ahead and heal and dispel to get rid of that darkness imbue from our team. There we go. Imbue is gone. Oren, is your cooldown up? It's not. I can't buff our stats. Let's see. Reagan will chain. Now my Reagan is really weak on the Japanese server. Like, he doesn't have any pots, nothing. But I specifically did not want to use Axstar because we won't have Axstar in global when this guy comes out. Of course, we won't have Warrior of Light 7-star either. But you know, the tank's not really that important. You can use any tank you want. Anyway, there we go. There is the Warden Welter preview. That was very sloppy and embarrassing, but it's hard when you can't read Japanese. Like, because you're supposed to react. Like when he says, for example, Blaze burns away the flower. You got to hit him with fire damage. When he says, like, a demon must be sealed by demon. You've got to use a magical nuke. And I can't read what he's saying, so I can't respond. So he's using all these huge counterattacks on me. Anyway, hope this has been informative. See you when it comes to global.